and welcome to the First Kiss Club podcast, where we invite people with achievement from the First Kiss Club. Today, our episode will be about Creatop, a 3D design competition held in the First Kiss Club. I'm very glad to have my two guests with me today. Hi, Mahdi.
Hi, I'm a big fan of your podcast.
Thank you. And I have with me Taha.
Hello, thank you very much for having me, and we hope that we had a great time today.
Thank you. And I'm Fatma, host of the First Kiss Club podcast. Today we will be talking about Creatop, as I mentioned, but first let me introduce you to my guests. So first we have Mahdi.
Hi everyone, my name is Mahdi Farfer. I am a 19-year-old First Kiss Club supervisor, and I used to coach 3D design and initiation to programming.
And Taha.
Hello everyone, I'm Taha Sheli, and I'm a 3D design coach in the First Kiss Club.
Thank you. So we will be introducing what Creatop is. So we know that it's a 3D design competition. So when was it launched initially, and why did we choose to launch a 3D design competition?
Well, the idea came to me and supervisor Omar Qasis in 2018. We didn't have enough time and we couldn't start it in 2018, but a year later I had gathered a staff team and we decided to launch it. We held it at the First Skills Club. And we mainly decided to create Creatop because we wanted to keep the competitiveness alive between the 3D design mentees. So that's in order to always make sure we produce some of the highest and highly qualified 3D designers in our association, because as we know, we need 3D designers in our robotics teams.
Exactly. And the first edition was a success. That's why the First Kiss Club held another edition. Why don't you talk to us more about it?
Yeah, the second edition was like an ethical obligation for us to organize it after the success of the first edition, and to keep the same ideas and the same principles that Omar and Mehdi launched in the first competition. The first edition, I think that Coach Qais and Coach Karim won the competition, but for the winner of the second edition, we will announce it today, so stay tuned.
Inshallah.
Exactly. So let's talk about why a 3D design competition, not any type of other competitions. What do you think is the importance of 3D design in the First Kiss Club or generally in the world?
Well, as we know, a team of robotics is composed of many people who have different tasks. And as First Kiss Club has had its fair share of success in international competitions, we always try to keep a great structure in the team. And a huge part of a team is the 3D designer, as we can always move to the virtual world and simulate and create the robots and fields. So we are, and we can also print parts of the robots and try to always calculate the best solution to the task that our robot is supposed to work on. So the 3D design world is pretty important to us. It started. It's one of the first topics that we coached in the First Kiss Club, and it's still going strong. I remember one of the first competitions, our mentees won a 3D printer. So that was a very good start to our history with 3D design. The first team that participated in First Global also had a 3D designer. So it was always important for us to have 3D design running in our First Skills Club association.
We understand the importance of 3D design in our association. So, but what did the theme mean to us, the First Kiss Club, and what did it mean to the world? So what's the theme and why did we choose it?
First, I want to talk a little bit about the importance of 3D design. I think that 3D design is like a totality. You think about an idea, you create the idea in a virtual world, you can simulate it, you can simulate some environments and physical mechanisms, then you can print your project. So it is totality. And as Mehdi said, it was like a huge part of our success in the globe is performing on the design side. So for the theme of the competition, of course, as you know, the competition was held in the period ranging from the 13th of May to the 19th of May, and it was during the COVID-19 lockdown. So we tried to think about a theme that is linked to this COVID, and the theme was mainly to create a vehicle that can help people to do their daily activities in a safe way. And I think that it was like a theme that, yes, it is linked to a popular subject, which is COVID-19, but also it was like unique, and it is not this kind of theme that it is created too much in the world. So yeah, it is unique, but at the same time it is linked to a popular subject, which is COVID-19.
We didn't end up deciding the theme too easily enough. So we had a lot of themes first of all, and Karim and I said Karim again. Qais and Taha were suggesting a lot of themes to me first, and I kept refusing a lot because I felt like we could do better. And I think it took 5 or 6 tries to end up with a theme that I felt was good enough to launch an online competition, especially since it's online. It was online in 2020, and it also always helps that our mentor is an Autodesk ambassador, so we have access to the Autodesk Fusion 360 and the Autodesk Inventor. So the software really helps us do a competition online, since it's easy to download, and we work on it a lot.
And how do you think the mentees' performance was during this theme?
Really amazing. I was satisfied with the quality of the designs and the quality of the ideas as well. I think that most of them tried to think about some special solutions and some special tools that they can add to, let's say, the robot, because one of the main goals of this robot that we can build on it for the robotics side, because as you know, we are focusing on robotics versus lab. So it is very important that I was satisfied with the quality of the designs, the quality of the design thinking as well, and how they made like a huge effort to reach this level of quality. So I was really satisfied, and the judges were satisfied also with the quality of the designs.
So this design competition does not only focus about the technical side. Can you explain more to us about that?
Yeah, it's always a goal of us to focus on not only the technical side but the soft skills side. So that's what that was easy to do in the 2019 version. We had a panel of judges, and they had the mentees present their projects one by one, and we focused on of course, the soft skills, the presentation, the eye contact, space management, etc., which plays a huge part in our society, in our community. But that wasn't as easy to do in the 2020 version, since it was online. But I believe we did a great job, like enough job to have the competition as a success. What do you think, Taha?
Yeah, it wasn't that easy to focus on the fundamental skills of the participant, but of course there was a focus on the practical side and the solution that this participant provides, and how the process that he followed to find this idea, but also we tried as we can to focus on this fundamental side and on how he transmits the information and
Well, yeah, we had the online presentations, and they had to
Yes.
turn on their cameras in front of the judges, and they presented their projects via the online conversation tools that we had. They presented their projects in front of their webcams, and they had their presentation in front of the judges. The judges had access to real life contact
yes,
just via webcam.
yeah, they had access, and also they were able to ask them some questions to understand more the project and to evaluate more the project also. And it wasn't easy, but we tried our best, and I think at the end we reached what we want. It wasn't like the first edition, but
We hope that the next editions are going to be in real life, not in
yeah,
like
we
online,
hope
right?
so. But also, I really like the online competition as well because I was participant in the first edition
Well, the first
I
edition was just in one day, and the
Yeah.
online edition was
But,
a whole week, right?
yeah, the second edition was about 6 days of hard working, really hard working. So it was a different challenge. Every competition and every edition has its own main points and has its own positive points. But I think I really enjoyed the two editions. The first one that I was the participant, and the second one that I was one of the organizers. And yeah, that shows like the ideas of First Club, that in just 1 year you turn from a participant to an organizer.
Well, that comes with hard work, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it wasn't only me, it was also Qais who was the participant, who was the joint winner of the first edition, and the second edition he was one of the organizers. Also Kareem, he was the joint winner of the first edition. The second edition, he's the judge. So that shows.
If you really believe in your work, then
That
you
shows
will find
a
fruits.
lot of things, and yeah, that's it. So maybe one of the participants of this competition next year will be an organizer.
Hopefully.
You're one of the staff
Hopefully.
members.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much, Taha and Mahdi, organization committee of the Creatop Challenge. We will be taking a short break and coming back soon. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Welcome everybody to the second part of our podcast. And now I have two special guests with me. First I have Madame Fitten. Hi.
Hi.
And Qais.
Hi.
We will be discussing further details about the competition, Creatop. So first I would like my guests to introduce themselves to our audience. So let's start with you, Madam.
Thank you. So I'm Fatin Khalfala Hamouda. I'm an IT teacher in the Pioneer Prep School of SPACS, and I am the founder of First Skills Club Association since 2012. And I'm Tech Woman 2015. I had the pleasure to be the regional ambassador of Autodesk after my mentorship in Tech Women program. And coming back to Tunisia, I've been selected as the Change Generation Emerging Leader in 2016 from the United States Institute of Peace. That made me empowered to mentor the national teams of robotics in 2017, 2018, and 2019. And I'm finally been selected as the peer advisor for the Emerging Leaders Tech Women 2020, and I'm now mentoring them in their mission. And thank you.
Thank you for accepting our invite. Qais.
So hi everyone, my name is Qais Adar. I'm 16 years old and the coach of First Skills Club. I'm also a member of the VEX Robotics team who won the Judges Award in the VRC 2019 Championship. and I'm also the one of the organizers of the Creatop second edition, which was held online this year, and it's a 3D competition that allowed mentees to show their creativity skills and how to strive to solve the problems that we gave them, including our theme, which was to create a vehicle that helps the COVID-19 patients to pursue their daily lives without infecting any other people.
So despite the difficulties of this year's edition, which is basically moving online,
Yes.
the mentees did very well. So they performed very well
Yes.
in this competition. Can you please tell us more about that? How do you think their performance was?
Well, to be honest, the projects that were presented during the participants' presentations were astonishing. Some projects are so creative that even I couldn't think of, and some designs are so good and with such creativity and good measuring and even the winner of this competition had a really good skill in mastering the software, which is Autodesk Fusion 360, in order to make his design and also communicate it to the judges, which wasn't easy because, as we know, online presentations are very different from the real ones, since you don't have physical contact or eye contact with the judges or the audience. And yeah, our participants knew how to deal with such problems, especially in this COVID-19 outbreak, which forced everyone to stay at their homes without contacting anyone. Despite these problems, our participants did very well, and I thank them for their hard work.
Thank you, Qais. We're definitely glad to see our mentees advancing and sharpening their skills despite being in unprecedented situations like the one we lived in or during the COVID-19 pandemic. Now back to you, Mrs. Fetin. So you are the regional ambassador of Autodesk in Tunisia, and Autodesk is the company that launched Fusion 360, which is the software we're using in this competition. So what does 3D design mean to you, or what's its significance to you as an educator?
Okay, so thank you for this question. I think that by 3D design, students are engaged in design thinking, so they can see their ideas realized into prototypes, in live prototypes. So it's a real technology that can allow mentees to solve real problems, and actually, so they can suggest reliable solutions for the community. So, and the ability to model an object in their mind and make it realizable and seen by others around us, it's really something which is really asked in industries today, and will make them push to program for their future careers later.
So, Mrs. Fetin, you have believed in the potential of 3D design and in the potential of your mentees, so you transmitted your knowledge to them in 3D design, and now they are among the supervisors. Those supervisors also transmitted their knowledge to mentees like Qais, who's now among the organization committee of this 3D design competition. So what do you think the impact of this competition was on your mentees?
Well, for starters, it was kind of a test for them for the end-of-year projects, since they are working at that time on their end-of-year projects and working on their presentations, and it was a kind of a beta test for them to test their skills, communication skills, what are the mistakes they did in the presentation, what should they improve, and among other things. Of course, I was last year one of the joint winners of the first edition, and right now I am one of the organization committee. So it would be no surprise that next year the winner of this year would be one of the organization committee of next year's edition.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah. So Also, this would improve their creativity skills and problem-solving skills, since the theme that we gave them was not really expected, especially as Supervisor Mahdi mentioned earlier. It was hard to find a theme good enough and hard enough for this competition to make it a challenge and a real challenge for the mentees. And yes, that's basically it. The mentees gained a lot of this competition, since after all it was an experience for them to improve their skills, communication skills. Also, after this pandemic, the world would need the communication skills in the online presentations, especially that we are now working on online school, online teaching, webinars, etc. And these all require these some soft skills that are not really required in real life presentations, and are also another field and completely different field.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's now time to recognize the efforts of these hardworking mentees and also announce the winner of this year's edition of Creatop. So now I will leave the word to you.
Okay, so first of all, I want to thank all the mentees for their hard work and the efforts they did in order to make their projects real and to present them in front of the judges, who were also tolerant and were helping them during the competition, since we held a small session in which the mentees would explain their idea for a brief moment, etc. And unfortunately, we have to choose one winner, despite their efforts and the creative projects we saw, me and the organizing committee. We were really astonished. So now to the bottom line, the winner of this year's edition, drum roll please. And the winner of the Creatop 2020 edition is Mr. Fahd Triqi.
Congratulations!
So good job, Fahd. You really impressed the judges and even the organization committee with your design, who was really good and really and showed a real good degree of professionalism and mastering the software. And also I thank you for the communication skills you showed during the presentation, which was a real change in you since the first year. Since you are one of my mentees, I saw that you really changed in comparison of the start of the year. You really showed a good level of language in English, and the judges really liked your project and presentation. And thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I think we have reached the end of our podcast. I would like to congratulate each and every one of the participants and also the organization committee that worked so hard to make this event possible. So I will leave the word to Mrs. Fetten, if you have any final thoughts.
Yeah, thank you so much, Fatma. First of all, I would like to thank all the participants in this event, all the judges, all the organizers of this competition, because it's not easy to make it happen. It's not easy to make it happen in real life, so whatever is in an online competition. So congrats for all the staff, and congrats for the winner, Fahd Triqi. I would like to say that Fahd is a winner, but all of the participants are winners for us, for First Kiss Club staff, because you've made a lot of efforts, you've made many sacrifices in order to prove to others that you are able to design, to concept, to think, to ideate, to imagine, to test your model or your product. We are in First Kiss Club working on making ourselves strong and able to convince others that we are or we can suggest to the world many things that can be reliable solutions for the community. Thank you, Fatma, for this podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you for volunteering to make everything happen in First Kiss Club. And the future will be shining for you. I'm so proud because this competition was held fully by young learners, my mentees before, and now they are my colleagues, I swear. So a very high degree of professionalism from the coaches. Thank you, Taha and Qais, for coaching last year and making that happen. I hope that 2020 and 2021 season will be much more better. I loved very much the theme of the competition because it's very, very critical, and it's something that is influencing all the world today, because we are all thinking about solutions and hoping that COVID-19 will end so soon. So this is a trial thing that leaders or young leaders could make, and hope that everything will stop with COVID-19 and we will come back to our life normally. And thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Qais, any last words?
First of all, I would like to congrats Fad for his hard work. As Mr. Sutton said, all of the mentees and participants are winners since they gained much of this competition as an experience to improve their communication skills and their designing skills. Also, this event wouldn't be possible without the efforts of many staff members, the media staff, judges. They really worked hard in order to provide to make this event possible. I would like also to thank our supervisor Mehdi Fakher, who was although a supervisor, but also he was one of the organization committee and worked hard with us to achieve this event and make it possible. And yes, that's my last words.
Thank you very much. So we have reached the end of our podcast. Thank you so much for following. Make sure to check out our social media and follow us. And thank you very much. Goodbye.
Bye.